Sagittarius, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of June. We have a lot at play as we begin the month. We are currently in eclipse season, and things are incredibly intense. Mars is a huge factor in this month ahead. As we begin the month, Mars is already forming a square to Venus, the goddess of love, and Mars is transiting in your house of home and family and your roots and emotional foundation, and it's squaring Venus in your house of relationships. And Venus is out of bounds and has been since April 2nd, which means she exceeds the sun's outer limits by declination and is incredibly uncontrollable and all over the place, and squaring Mars, the god of war. And Mars is transiting in your house of home and family. And this is exact on June 2nd. And, we feel the buildup in the first week of June, certainly. And Venus retrogrades once every 8 years, and it retrogrades in your house of relationships and in Gemini once every 8 years. So the fact that this is, reevaluating your existing relationships, it could be bringing a lot of people from the past in many different facets of your life, old lovers, old friends, old schoolmates, but also reassessing what you value, and maybe perhaps around family too, because it's squaring Mars in your house of home and family. And on the 3rd of June, we have a really positive aspect that is helpful in all of this mayhem, in that Venus is joining up with the sun for an annual conjunction that happens once every year, obviously, and it's in your house of relationships, and that's a good day to be creative and figure on what makes your heart happy, and just to really try to honor this energy now in this difficult time. And then on the 5th of June, we have a lunar eclipse, and it's in your sign. So it's a pretty big deal, because the nodes of fate just changed signs on May 5th. They went from the Capricorn Cancer axis to the Sagittarius Gemini axis, where it will be until January 4th of 2022. So the south node of karma is transiting in your sign and in your first house of self and new beginnings. And there are things that you are going to be letting go and releasing, or perhaps there are lessons you have mastered that you need to release. But it is definitely a time of change. And when the eclipses are in your sign axis, it's a big deal. And the first of these 3 eclipses is at 15 degrees of Sagittarius, and it falls in your first house of self. It occurs at 3:12 p.m. on June 5th, Eastern Daylight Time, and it is squaring Mars exactly in the sky. So Mars in Pisces generally is passive, but in this case, having a lunar eclipse squaring Mars is not. And Mars is transiting in your house of home and family. So the way to work with this in the best way is recognizing that there's a lot of volatility and a lot of anger, and that's obviously understandable, but that trying to prepare yourself to find creative and positive ways, doing things to, whether it's preparing yourself to be more patient with people and try to be kind with the energy going on, or trying to get work done. I mean, you could be really busy and focusing on issues with fixing up your house, or but there could be family issues realistically too, with Mars in your transiting in your house of home and family, where it will be until the end of June. And then so just recognizing that you will be feeling this eclipse, and it's not an easy one, but get work done. Try to be very active in a productive way, and don't let it flare you up, And then we have on the 11th of June, the sun is in your house of partnerships, is squaring Neptune, again, at the bottom of your chart in the house of family and home. And it could be that deception's uncovered, or that you're feeling very sensitive energy. Maybe you're feeling depressed with that, but also that, knowing in eclipse season that eclipses make us see things in a way we've never seen them before, and they bring things to light. So again, having 3 eclipses, a very big historical year, and having a major eclipse at the world axis, we know this is a huge summer ahead. And Mercury, is out of bounds until the 9th of June. It's transiting in Cancer in your eighth house of resources and finances and investments. And Mercury is going to retrograde on June 18th, and then it's going to station direct on July 12th, and it's stationing retrograde at 14 degrees of Cancer. So that's another area that you may be reassessing your investments, your debt. Maybe you're finding ways of working on your debt, or you're reassessing your investments, and it's dealing with finances. Certainly, that's a money house. But pardon me, then we also have on the 13th of June, Mars and Neptune meet up in the sky, and that's going to be a difficult day, a little bit, to it's in your house of family, and just feeling devitalized, and just kind of just getting some rest. I mean, there's such frenzied energy. Eclipses are always very pressured times, and often we neglect to take care of ourselves when so much is happening, and it's just trying to center yourself during this, because of all this mutability. It's brilliant energy, but it is all over, like I don't know how to even say, it's spreading all over, and that's where we need to keep centered, and finding ways, however that is for you, because there's a lot of Neptunian energy. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus, and the positive of that is coming from love or creativity, and for you trying to find ways to again also practice self-care. Neptune is a very spiritual planet on the higher level, and tapping into that part of it. And each sign and each planet has a higher and lower form, and that's your choice, and all of our choice of where we go with this. And I think that just knowing that things are going to be very all over, and as I am exemplifying right now. And so let's see, we have the summer solstice on June 20th, and that takes place at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And the summer solstice is taking place also in your house of intimacy and transformation and joint resources and partnerships, and it's a time when the sun stops for 3 days, and it is the beginning of summer. It's the beginning of a new season, and it is a review period of what you want to have the season to be. It's a time to reflect, and we do have a lot of planets retrograde, and we have a total solar eclipse that falls in that sector of your chart soon after at 2:41 a.m. on June 21st. And that falls at 0 degrees of Cancer at the world axis. Huge deal. Everybody's going to feel it. Eclipses are very unpredictable, but a lot is going to happen. A lot of heavy energy. And that eclipse actually does have some very helpful aspects, in that it's going to be forming a Mars and Jupiter are sextiling. Mars is sextiling Jupiter and Pluto, and that is a helpful energy with this. The lunar eclipse that I mentioned on June 5th is also involving, Venus is involved in that too. Venus is sparring with Mars and opposite the moon. So that's, again, going to be challenging with relationships of all forms. But with this solar eclipse, that's definitely a time. All eclipses, I think, you want to honor with a ritual, but certainly with this total solar eclipse at the world axis, help to bring new beginnings and set intentions. And it is in your house of empowerment and transformation, and to try to bring in some healing and positive energy in this. And later in the month, on June 30th, we have a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction that occurs in your second house of income and value and how you earn money. And that's where the historical Capricorn lineup formed in the beginning of the year on January 12th, when Saturn and Pluto met up for the first time in a little bit over 36 years, and in the sign of Capricorn for the first time in over 500 years. And that's that death and rebirth and collapsing of old structures. And Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto when they pair up, that's an aspect of transformation and empowerment, and that's an aspect of very successful people have in their charts. I could list many, but I won't at the moment. But the fact is, it's also very healing energy. Jupiter is the ruler of your sign, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, and it can bring tremendous healing, which we all need right now. And it's in your house of value systems and how you earn money and how you create. And I wish you a lot of luck. It's going to be a very intense summer. Mars changes signs on June 27th and exits the sign of Pisces and is going to be in Aries, the god, where it rules Aries the rest of the year. So, and it's transiting in your fifth house of romance and creativity and self-expression. And that's great. That could bring a lot of fun, hopefully, coming forward, or romance and creative ideas, but it is going to retrograde in the fall and again bring a review period, but hopefully give you some ways to manifest and do creative thinking in this turbulent time. And I wish you a lot of luck, Sagittarius. Thank you.